Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I am not here to make a video today complaining about Kabam. At least not in regards to something that's a special offer where, of course, things like this have still been so divisive versus what Kabam thinks the players want versus what I actually think they need and want. Two different things. But I was getting ready for bed last night, and I am someone now, because I'm sure, certifiably crazy, that I look at the time that I spend in this game in the most microscopic kind of way. And what I mean by that is, like, anytime, for example, I get the free units from a 22-hour event, in this case, hero use, and I claim what I think is the most exciting part of it, and I'll always be thankful to Dork Lessons, because Dorky Diggity Dave, when he was meeting with Kabam years ago and they were thinking about potentially changing the reward structure, he said, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot take out those free units and the revive. And he even made a video about it, and I was like, thank God we have somebody as a player base that can voice that, because yeah, that's a huge motivation for me to play the game every day, is this free now level 2 revive, which they buffed from a level 1 revive a while back, and that's been a huge, awesome detail. And then these 25 units, which when the rank up store went to tier 4 basic being 20 units, I said, hey, I just got a free tier 4 basic and 5 units above that. And in my brain, again, I'm not saying you should think this way, because I'm sure it just means I'm even more crazy than people think. But in my crazy brain, I feel good about that, because I know it's a controversial video that I put out this week. I stand by it. Technically, I sit by it right now. I love ranking up 4 stars and using max ranked 4 stars to get through the Summoner Trials arena faster. And for those of you who are looking for a somewhat relaxing way to do the arena that's not going to get you a chance for death matchups like rank 3 5 stars now, heck, maybe rank 4 5 stars, or even rank 1 6 stars sometimes can, in the featured 6-star arena or the 6-star basic arena, it's the Summoner Trials arena. That's the best arena that you can do for the least amount of work. And so every time you max rank a 4-star, you're helping yourself clear that faster. Well, I was going to purchase a tier 4 basic last night, just to remind myself that, you know, it's worth the work, and it feels good to buy a tier 4 basic for free when they used to be like $20 to $30 when I first started playing this game, cash. But when I went to the rank up store, I was blown away by the fact that the prices had just mysteriously changed, and that they had specifically gone down. Tier 4 basic aren't 20 units, they're now 15 units. So a 5-unit decrease may not sound like a lot, but that means that if you buy, 4 of these now, you get 1 free versus what they used to cost. You can buy 4 for the price of 3, essentially, for 60 units. 60 units used to give you 3 tier 4 basic, now it gives you 4. But in terms of what it used to be price-wise versus what it is now, we should all be celebrating this. Are you telling me this thing used to be $100? Literally, $100. Because our goal was to take our 5 stars to rank 4, and tier 2 alpha was the new currency to get us there. Now, they're only 5 units more than a tier 4 basic? What? That's insane. They did this before buffing the special arenas. I thought surely we're going to have a tier 2 alpha and tier 5 basic arena soon. And who knows, maybe we still will. But 20 units? These used to be 60 units. And there used to be, I think, a purchase limit of 10. And so I would literally spend 600 units on tier 2 alpha back when I didn't have a crazy amount in my overflow, because it's also been way easier to get them now. No. Now it's literally 33% of what it used to be. That's amazing. That's such a pro player move, and Kabam deserves so much credit for this, because now when you claim those 25 free units in a 22-hour event, it's like getting a free tier 2 alpha, if you just think of it like that. Speaking of tier 5 basic, while they will always be more valuable and expensive than tier 2 alpha, they've gone down big time in price. They're only half for 25 units, or of course, a fully formed one for 50 units. This also means every time you buy and get horrible luck from, let's say, a featured Paragon Crystal, which is 300 units, you could have got 6 Tier 5 Basic for the price of 1 featured Paragon Crystal. Or, in terms of Tier 2 Alpha, you could have gotten 15, more than the purchase limit literally allows. You can max out the purchase limit of all 11 of these and still have 80 units left over versus the price of 1 Gamble featured Paragon or featured Cavalier Crystal, I guess, since they're 300 units a piece too. That's crazy. Now 1 featured Paragon Crystal is yes, because these things don't have a purchase limit. 20! Would you rather get 20 Tier 4 Basic or a 4-star? That's essentially what the gamble is. Y'all, we should all be celebrating this. And if I was running Kabam, Lord help my mental health, I would want to scream this from the rooftops. Because this is so pro player. This helps out especially you non-cash spenders or low spenders or, of course, free-to-play players. This is for you. So Kabam, thank you for making specifically Tier 4 Basic, Tier 2 Alpha, and Tier 5 Basic cheaper than ever. My only complaint, but it's a small one, is I wish this was a selector, because there's no guaranteed value in buying Tier 4 class Catalyst crystals. It's still a crystal. It's still 1 out of 6 gamble RNG, and we know from years of data on this channel collected that it's probably going to give you the class that you need the least when you open Tier 4 class Catalyst. That's why if you're hunting for, let's say, a skill Catalyst and you open 30, you'll shockingly get the least skill because it knows what your inventory needs, where the demand is. And it has an algorithm that it legally has the protection for, and it's been years since we covered Kabam's patents, but that is a real thing. And yes, Tier 1 Alpha for 10 units, I can't ignore that either. Like, this is incredible pro player status. What Kabam is saying, we want you to spend a minuscule amount of units on some pretty important resources, because you still, obviously, Tier 1 Alpha is mainly 5 stars. 4 and 5 stars. But you still need Tier 4 Basic, Tier 4 Class Catalyst, Tier 2 Alpha, and Tier 5 Basic to rank up 6 stars, and 6 stars are not going away anytime soon, especially with Ascension now firmly in the meta of the game. So, Kabam, thank you. It's also worth noting that Tier 1 Basic Alloy, Tier 2 Basic Alloy, they're still reasonably priced. I'm not a fan of crystals because they're just too big of gambles, which is why I'm not covering at all credit for this. If it was a selector, which I still think it should be, then great. But Kabam thinks it would ruin the economy of the game if they made those selectors for whatever reason. So we can't have those nice things. But we can on the others. So, this is amazing for pro player value. Good job, Kabam, taking feedback. I like making these videos more than criticism. I like seeing reasons for players to rank up champions cheaper and to be more invested in the game. Because that's how the game survives. It doesn't survive by having a special holiday offer that caters to almost no one and just anchors your player base. That's not how you get loyalty to continue. So, regardless of how we feel about this special holiday, let's celebrate this because Kabam deserves the credit.